Students, let's start out with the last session in the poverty chapter. Today we are going to see poverty alleviation programs in India. Yes, in this poverty alleviation programs in India, we have two programs. One is self-employment program and second one is wage employment program. Before starts with the program, a small intro in the poverty alleviation programs in India. Alleviation. What does mean by alleviation? Alleviation is nothing but reduction of poverty and remains a major challenge before the nation. While there has been a steady decline in the poverty over the last 2 decades, but the total number of poor people has remained constant because of growth in population. The government has specifically designed anti-poverty programs for generation of both self-employment and wage employment programs. So, let us discuss the various self-employment programs and wage employment programs initiated by the government. First, we are going to see self-employment program, rural employment generation program. Second, Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana. Third, Swarna Jayanti Shashri Rozgar Yojana. Last one, Swarna Jayanti Grama Swaraskar Yojana. First, we will see rural employment generation program. Yes, in this rural employment generation program, this program was started by the government to create self-employment opportunity in the rural areas as well as in the small towns. When I speaks about this programs mainly initiated for the people in the rural as well as in the small towns, which denotes about two things. It was implemented by Khadi and the Village Industries Commission. Second, under this program, one could get financial assistance in the form of bank loan to set up small industries. Yes. Second, Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana. Under this program, the educated unemployed from low income family in the rural as well as in the urban area were given financial help to set up any kind of enterprises that generates employment. So this program is purely for the educated unemployed youth, mainly those who are from low income family in both areas, rural as well as in the urban area. In what way they will help? They will help in the form of financial help to set up their any kind of enterprises that generates employment. Yes, so the Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana to generate employment by setting up 7 lakh micro enterprises during 8th plan from 1992 to 97. By 2003 to 2004, 3 million people got employment under this scheme. Yes, now we'll just move on to Swarna Jayanti Shashri Rozgar Yojana, mainly aim at creating employment opportunity for both self-employment as well as for the wage employment in the urban area. This program seeks to provide gainful employment through encouraging the setting up of self-employment ventures on the provision of wage employment. Yes, it is a centrally sponsored scheme which is funded on 75:25 basis between center as well as the state. So this program is mainly for both self-employment as well as for the wage employment. Yes, funded on the basis of 75:25 between center as well as the state. Yes, now Swarna Jayanti Grama Swaraskar Yojana aimed at promoting micro enterprises and to bring the assisted poor families above the poverty line by organizing SHG, that is self-help group. In the self-help groups, we have few points in this. First one, people who wish to benefit from the scheme are encouraged to form self-help groups. The people those who wish to join in the scheme, what they have to do? First, they have to form a group. Second, initially, they are encouraged to save money and lend among themselves as small loans. Yes, first what they have to do it? First, they have to save the money. After saving it, what they have to do it? They have to lend the money among themselves. 3. Later, through banks, the government provide partial financial assistance to SSGs, which then decide whom the loan is to be given for self-employment activity. Third, the government will provide partial financial assistance to SSG. Next, at the last, this has now been restructured as National Rural Livelihoods Mission, that is NRLM, and similar program called National Urban Livelihoods Mission has also been in the place for urban area. So this has been restructured on both the places, rural as well as in the urban. In the rural, we'll be calling it as a National Rural Employment Mission, and in the urban, we'll be calling it as a National Urban Livelihoods Mission. Yes, now we have finished self-employment programs. Let's move on to the other one, wage employment program. In this wage employment programs, we have two programs, Sampurna Gramin Roskar Yojana, next National Food for Work program. Yes, now Sampurna Gramin Roskar Yojana. The scheme aimed to provide additional and supplementary wage employment by undertaking labor-intensive work, thereby providing food security and increasing nutritional level. Yes, wages were paid as a combination of food grain as well as cash. Next, the scheme of SGRY is open to all the rural people who need wage employment and desire to do manual and unskilled work in and around their village or habitat. So, in this program, supplementary wage employment by undertaking labor-intensive works. Yes, and the people those who are doing those works, they will be providing food security and increasing nutritional level. How they will provide? Suppose wages they can pay in the form of food grains or cash, both the combination. And second, this wage employment desired to do manual as well as unskilled work in the rural areas, in villages as well as in the habitants. Yes, the last, National Food for Work program. This program was launched in 2004 with the objective of intensifying the generation of supplementary wage employment. Yes, yes. And National Food for Work programs was initially implemented in 150 most backward districts of the country to provide additional resources apart from the resources available under the SGRY. So, apart from SGRY resources they are available, apart from those things will be included in National Food for Work program. First, it was implemented in 150 most backward districts of the country. The program was implemented as a 100% centrally sponsored scheme. Yes. So, who's the sponsor? Central. This program was incorporated in the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. Yes, implemented in 2005. MGNREGA aimed at enhancing the livelihood security of the people in the rural area by guaranteeing 100 days wage employment. Yes, the financial year to a rural household whose adult member volunteers to do unskilled manual work. So, in this MGNREGA assured job, guaranteed job for 100 days. Yes, for the unskilled, for the rural unemployed youth I just told you, and apart from that the volunteers to do unskilled manual work. All those among the poor who are ready to work at the minimum wage can report for the work in that area while the program is implemented. If the people those are ready, what they can do it? They can go directly and they report to the in the work area where the program is implemented. In 2013 to 14, nearly 5 crores households got employment opportunity under this law. So nearly from 2013 to 14, some 5 crores people they were benefited under this law. Yes, now Indian government has also introduced few schemes to provide health insurance to poor. Yes, from 2014, scheme called Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana is available, in which people in India are encouraged to open bank account. I think everyone is familiar in this. Yes, LPG. Besides promoting saving habit, the schemes intends to transfer all the benefits of government schemes and subsidies to account holder directly. Each bank account holder is also entitled to rupees 1 lakh accident insurance and rupees 30,000 life insurance cover. Yes, now let's move on to the other one, critical evaluation of poverty alleviation program. In this critical evaluation, we have evaluation of 5, lack of resources, unequal distribution of assets, improper implementation, lack of infrastructure, lack of active participation of poor people. First, we will see lack of resources. As compared to the magnitude of poverty, the amount of resources allocated to this program is not sufficient. So, lack of resources. Unequal distribution of assets. Due to unequal distribution of assets and land, the benefit from poverty alleviation program have been appropriated by the non-poor. The last 3, improper implementation. This program depends mainly on government and bank officials for the implementation. However, corruption, lack of training, pressure from local leaders, and non-participation of local level institutions resulted in improper implementation of program. Fourth, lack of infrastructure. There was lack of infrastructural facilities such as school, road, power, telecom, IT service, training institutions, etc. Fifth, lack of active participation of poor people. High growth alone is insufficient to reduce poverty. In fact, there is a need for active participation of the poor for effective implementation of poverty alleviation program. Yes, at the last conclusion, poverty alleviation has always been accepted as one of India's main challenges by the policy maker, and there have been certain positive results. What are the results? The absolute number of poor in the country has gone down, and some states have less proportion of poor than the national average. Second, there is improvement in terms of per capita income and average standard of living. 3. There has been some progress towards meeting the basic needs of poor people. However, when we compare the program of our country with the progress made by many other countries, our performance has not been impressive. When we compare with other country, our performance were not been impressive. Moreover, the benefit of growth and development have not reached to all the section of people. As a result, even after allocating and spending vast resources for eradication of poverty, we are still far away from reaching the goal. So at the last, we have completed our portion, we have completed our chapter poverty. Yes, so first class I have just told you what is a poverty, and then what is the meaning of poverty, and third, what is the rural poverty and the urban poverty, and then I have just told you what are the characteristics of poverty, and then measures of poverty, and you people know what is a poverty line, and I have just told you what are the causes of poverty, and then government approach. Yes, a government approach for what? To alleviate poverty, and then poverty alleviation program, and at the last one, critical evaluation of poverty alleviation program. Yes, so we are finished poverty chapter, students. Thank you.